welcome Mr. Amit Jaiswal. He's the Chief Financial Officer at Royal Orchid Hotels. Let me just go through the earnings that have been declared a couple of days ago. Strong traction on net sales, up 14% at 69 crores for the quarter gone by. Quarterly net profit at about 10 crores was down 12% year on year. EBITDA at 23 crores, down 4.6% year on year, and a mild decrease in EPS. Here is the good part. As far as the stock price is concerned, it's depreciated 69% over the last 12 months. Mr. Jaiswal, it's a pleasure to host you. Welcome to Market Today on BT Television. Fantastic work that we've seen Royal Orchids do over the last 18 to 12 months. However, the past quarter was a bit weak. Would you care to explain how this weakness crept into profit and profitability, sir?
You, Mr. Bhatnagar. Let me tell you, it's the matter of perception, how we look at and how the market looks at. The businessman, how he looks at a thing and how the market perceives it. It's just a matter of perception. If you really look at, you are comparing our result for this quarter with a first quarter of last year. Now, if you go back last 15 years, the first quarter of last year was the best performance in last 15 years. Forget about COVID. Last 15 years, our industry has not performed like that. Number one. Number two, last year, first quarter, we had outperformed every peer in the industry. Okay. So these are two very vital points. Now, last entire year, our company, Royal Orchid Hotels, did exceptionally well in all the four quarters. Then we realized that we need to now do little bit of expenses on our maintenance of the properties. Last year, first quarter, we were, operating, although the level of operations went up, but we were operating with a very skeleton staff members, thinking that we are just out of COVID and we never knew that what will be the future of the industry. At that time, there were a lot of confusions and, miscalculations and were there. But then after years of good performance and the way forward, which is looking very bright, so we thought that now we need to retain our employees because industry had opened up. So we had to revise their salaries. Number two, we had to achieve the operational excellence, which cannot be, undermined or compromised. Thirdly, we are growing very fast. To support that kind of growth, see, if you really look at it, in last quarter, that is last first quarter of this financial year, we have opened 13 hotels with 755 keys. So the expenses which are booked in our P&L, although we look at it as an investment for the future growth. We will be opening almost 1,000 rooms over, almost, around 15 hotels in next 6 months. That is before March 24. So all these need support, and every support comes at a cost. The benefit of all this work we will get in next financial year. So that is our viewpoint and the explanation I thought I'll share with you guys.
Absolutely, Mr. Jaiswal. What you've done is basically sacrificed short-term growth in the hope that long-term would be phenomenal. I have said in my opening remarks that one of the most spectacular mid-caps that we've seen over the last 12 to 18 months has been Royal Orchid Hotels. And perhaps this would be the right time to add the stock to your portfolio, but we'll leave that comment to Akshay. Let's focus on the financials a little bit more. Are you taking more debt to fund these new hotel properties that you are opening up over the next 12 years to 18, the next 12 months to 18 months?
So, Bhatnagar, we have been following an asset-light strategy for quite some time. We are not going to own any hotels. We are adding more and more on a managed basis, wherein our top line moves down to the bottom line. But at the same time, now we are getting into
Yes.
little bit of revenue share model, wherein with a very minimal investment, like if it is a 80-room property, somewhere around 5 crores we invest in the security deposit and the working capital to get the hotel going, and where the return is little, almost the double of what we get in management as management fees. So that also we are trying to exploit. There are a lot of opportunities in the market, and for that we feel that we have now good internal cash accruals. As well, if we required some good opportunities, some bigger hotels comes on revenue share or leased model, we would may go for to take little bit of debt, but that will be not very any high kind of debt.
Right. Mr. Jaiswal, when it comes to expenses, the ones that you mentioned, which were, sprucing up your property, adding fresh HR talent to your existing employee base, and of course, adding new properties. Have you done most of the expenses for the current financial year? And from now on, do we see improvement in margins as well as profit?
Yes, definitely there will be improvement in margins, because all of a sudden, the kind of chunk which came up in the first quarter, because as you know, historically, the hotel industry, how it works is the first half 40% and second half 60%. Out of that also, first quarter, generally it is dull, although the leisure hotels only do well, yeah, and our revenue from leisure hotel is around 28%. Balance 72% is the business hotel. The business hotel are little down in the first quarter. So keeping that in mind, we try to invest some money into the upkeep of the hotels, as well as we have invested some money in training. Training is a very vital thing which we do, although the cost will come in these 1 or 2 quarters, but the benefit of this will come in a long run. Okay, but however, let me tell you, our cost is not going to go up. We have started working on controlling the cost. First quarter we will little given little free hand to our ops guys, but now we will be controlling, and the cost will not go up like this.
Right. So, Mr. Jaiswal, I'm a very, very frequent traveler to a lot of cities in India, and I frequent Bombay quite a lot. I know for a fact it's impossible to get a fairly decent hotel at a decent price. Either the price will be fabulous for the hotel, not for the guest, or the property would be subpar. The smile on your face says that you agree with my statement, and possibly you are in the best industrial industry at the moment as far as India's booming aspirations are concerned. Tell me, what was the capacity utilization over the last 6 months, and what are you aiming at over the next 2 quarters, sir?
See, as far as the capacity utilization is concerned, we are at the optimum. We are at 78%. And it may go up by couple of percentage, but beyond 80%, it is literally very very difficult. You barring few of the hotels, most of the hotel beyond 80% is very difficult. So I think we are at the optimum as far as the utilization is concerned. But yes, we are looking forward to the increase in the rates further, because the kind of demand we are seeing in the market, and the kind of the way India is growing, our economy is growing, I feel that we are very short of hotels, and definitely our rates are further going to go up. I'm looking at 10 to 15% growth further as far the rates are concerned. And let me tell you, the industry will do very well for the next 3 to 4 years. Absolutely, it will be like rocking. I will use the word rocking industry, because there's huge demand in the market, and you try to book any leisure hostel, you will not get it on weekends. Business hotels are doing also very well. So actually, right now the things are very bright, and hopefully it will stay for quite some time.
Mr. Jaiswal, I'm sure what you say is music to the ears of shareholders of Royal Orchid Hotels, as also many other hotel chains. But as a traveler and as a serious tourist, I find your conversation very, very disconcerting. But be it that is may, it's okay. There are very, very few industries which have seen the pain that yours has in the last decade and a half. Very, very capital intensive, and a lot of pain that you went through during the COVID phase is being very rightly rewarded both by shareholders as well as business travelers. It's a good space to be. For our investors and viewers, could you please tell us same time next year? I'm talking about August of 2024. What is the present room number that you have, and how many keys will you add over the next 1 year, sir?
See, right now we are operating around 5,600 rooms. And by next year, August, if you tell me, we should be somewhere around 7,000 rooms.
Okay, so 1,400 fresh keys you'll add over a period of 12 months. And so, how about geographic expansion? Where do you see the maximum demand coming in when it comes to these 1,400 keys? Where are the new steps that you are taking? And where is fresh capacity expansion coming in at existing properties?
See, right now, as we talk, we are operating around 94 hotels, and it is fairly distributed entire India. We are little weak on the eastern side of India and the northeast and the eastern states like Odisha and Andhra and all. So there we are focusing to grow our presence. We are definitely trying that. We opened our first international hotel last month in Sri Lanka. So we are also looking to capitalize on some opportunity internationally if we get. But of course, it's a total asset light strategy. We are not going to invest any money. And there are, right now, if you really look at it, places like Ayodhya, so there are a lot of opportunities which are coming up, which were not heard of in last 5 years back. If you look at it, these places were not heard of. But there are a lot of opportunities which are coming. Demand also is coming. India has grown into a very good leisure destination in after COVID. So that is one good news for all of us. And we are also trying to exploit the places where we don't have hotels, where we can have little leisure destinations and all. And as far as business destination is concerned, we are Orthodox India. A lot of cities where of course Bangalore and then Bombay and Gurgaon, Delhi. Gurgaon we have a hotel. We opened last year. We are trying to look for opportunities in Gurgaon. We have the industry has got a lot of capacity there. So like this, these are the places where we would like to get into and exploit the situations.
Right. Mr. Jaiswal, like I had mentioned earlier, there's not even a shadow of worry on your forehead. It's one of those wonderful Goldilocks phases that a particular industry is growing. And no matter how much room capacity you build, no matter what you keep in terms of price, I'm sure a lot of customers would come knocking on your doors over the next 1 year or so. I stay in Delhi, and I can assure you it's difficult to get a five-star room now, given the G20 space that we are seeing. And of course, as you mentioned very well, leisure and business. Anecdotal evidence, go to any five-star coffee shop in Delhi. It's standing room only. Wait is about 30 to 40 minutes. So I agree with you. And since I travel a lot, I keep a very keen eye on the rack rates. You're going through a very, very good phase. And I'm sure your shareholders would be fairly thrilled over the next 5-7 years. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Jaiswal. He's the CFO at Orchid Hotels. Current numbers, and that is the first quarter gone by, was a bit painful because the company invested fairly substantially in sprucing up its properties, adding more employees, and laying the groundwork for the coming quarters and the coming years. Thank you, Mr. Jaiswal, and here's wishing you all the best as far as Royal Orchid is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatnagar. All the best. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.